Looks like we're live. Hello?
Hello again.
We're back!
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, so you ready to start up again? It's okay. It's okay. And I paused the timer at like this, but okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Lack of fun again. I did see the usual blame RC in chat, but yeah, I don't know. I would have helped if I could.
Can we blame the
Also-
iris items?
Well, not in this run actually, because unfortunately, as part of making the Re-Randomizer work, we had to take the iris items out. So, spoilers, we unfortunately will not see those. Yeah.
Blame the Decker Blade.
Hey, for the no iris items, you actually get to do blame RC for once. But yeah, it's also been speculated that we know too much about the ancient cave. I suppose what I was gonna add at first was also that for those that don't know the cave that well, you're basically looking at a roguelike, which means 100 randomly generated. In this case, also randomly generated, but every time you play it, they will be the same. That's not usually the case. Floors. So yeah, whether you're going up or down, you're gonna have to find your way through there, collect items on the way there. Items are governed by floors, so say an item starts dropping at 20, you can find it from 20 onward, all the way to floor 98, which is the last regular floor. Enemies, however, are spawning on specific floors. So let's say you're looking at these buffaloes, they spawn from...
Party.
Well, okay. Yep. Well, they generally, enemies have like 3 floors that they occupy. So let's say 10 to 12 would be a range where a certain enemy appears and that stops and is replaced by a different enemy. So yeah. Teleporting buffaloes, that's thanks to the enemy movement randomizer that Eli chose to apply. Of course you did. It's pretty nice. You mean after you get 3 DR time? Yeah, only Decker and Guy get to equip it, so that means in this run, you could make use of 2 if you found them.
It's a shame you'll never find out until you figure it out. Now isn't it?
Oh, Chad is immediately jumping to the good stuff. Does the rando mean... Wait, re-rando mean we could get ninja gold dragons? It absolutely means exactly that. You could also get teleporting ninja dragons, but I mean, we'll get to that when that.
Teleporting ninja dragons is probably the most horrifying thing to ever exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, the enemy movement randomizer in this game features movement set variation, not shuffling. Every enemy has a completely randomized application of move. So there are certain move sets that are not used in the Ancient Cave, or at least by the Ancient Cave enemies, which could have been applied to some of the enemies later on.
We do have some people in chat saying they're not sure if they can hear you, Elieson.
Oh,
no, they can hear you. Never mind.
Okay.
We're good. We good.
Okay, sorry. Well, hey, if that works, cool. So yeah, the big thing I'm worried about is finding some of the horrifying enemies. For instance, as early as floor 29, that can be effectively run-enders and have them charge you. For instance, Blue Mimics, an enemy that normally doesn't even move on the map. Having that teleport and charge you. There's one, what's the one that they teleport to you and then they aggro towards you or something as well?
Yeah, that's a teleporting ninja pattern, yeah. They will once teleport, and then they will move with a double speed towards you, just like Assassins and Ninja do. So yeah. There are some enemies, like the Blue Mimics you mentioned, that you do not want to have that happen for. So yeah, this game features a couple of very interesting mechanics for, well, you know, a turn-based RPG, as you could see if you took it by face value, because the battle system is actually a little more interesting than you usually get. You have the additional map interaction. You can attack enemies by facing their side or their back, which gives you a chance or guaranteed preemptive strike in battle. So some enemies have that and some don't. Generally, enemies that can face different directions can be surprise attacked. So yeah, some of these movement patterns aren't scary because you can usually surprise attack the enemy behind it, but if for some reason a sprite that doesn't have a facing and therefore cannot be surprise attacked gets an unfortunate movement pattern, it can screw up things as well. So
can movement patterns be repeated? Like we could have like
yes.
ninja dragon everything's teleporting ninja
depending.
everything's.
Yeah, so depending on how Eli set it up, I don't know which settings he used, Eli, but there is an option to either shuffle them, which means they will happen in the exact quantity as they are by default, or to completely randomize them, in which case, what you said could happen, yeah.
I use the randomization, so I don't know what exists out there, truly.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
On the plus side, there are enemies like cores here, which normally will run away from you. It looks like these guys are running towards me. So that's one less enemy.
Yeah, looks like the mushroom pattern, I guess. Yep, definitely mushrooms.
Alright, so
I'm having a lot of fun figuring patterns out.
There are 4 different kinds of cores in the Ancient Cave: red cores, blue cores, green cores, and no cores that appear in that order. If you're familiar with Dragon Quest games, or if you watched Elmega stream the Ancient Cave, you probably heard them compared to the metal slimes. They give a lot of EXP, they have a high chance to run away, they're pretty tough to kill. If you have magic, you can take advantage of their, inverted magic resistance stat to kill them with pretty much any spell that deals damage. If they decide to stick
something
around.
like that.
For context, you finish the Ancient Cave at roughly level 32 to 34 or something. One red core can bring you to level 9, just upon killing it in these early floors. So of course it scales less as time goes on, but it is a big deal to find them if you can.
Yeah, the second one will only take you to level 11, so all that is assuming you started at level 1, didn't kill any other enemies, so yeah, it is a great boost.
So I see you opening all of these chests. What are we looking for?
So before floor 10, we're looking for some of those rings, rocks, and other accessories that you can only find in the lower floors. Right now, I'm looking for a heal spell. I'm looking for a deadly weapon, which is a weapon that has a non-100% chance to instantly kill a target upon hitting the target. unless they're an undead enemy, and that doesn't work on them at all. And I'm looking for curse lifters to uncurse them, because deadly weapons are glued to your hands until you find the solvent to remove it. And we do want to take advantage of the cursed, or the uncursed deadly rod if we can find one. The weapons that you want to take towards the jelly at the end of the cave run, the biggest thing about them is that you want to find weapons that deal a sizable amount of damage, because you only have 3 turns to deal damage to the jelly. And at most, your regular attacks will do 200 to 300 per hit, maybe. Your spells will cap out near 400 if you're lucky. Weapons like the Decker Blade, the Deadly Rod, and a couple of others deal damage based on the current HP of the target, and the Deadly Rod deals 1/8 of the foe's current HP, but it can be used up to 3 times, and that's a pretty big deal, considering you're fighting the jelly, which has just slightly under 10,000 HP. The Deadly Rod starts spawning as early as floor 3 or 4th floor? Floor 4?
It's 5.
5? Okay. And then Deadly Sword.
Deadly Sword.
At floor 3. So, looking for one of the key deadly weapons here. Oh, here's a Curse Lifter, for instance. Having one of those weapons early on means you can equip it without worrying later on. Oh, no, am I going to be able to deal with these certain enemies, or do I have to equip a bad versus a good weapon?
They really allow you to go fast in this game.
Yeah,
enemies at the very low.
Once you reach about 450 to 60, dealing damage to enemies or killing them without instant death mechanics is just, it's very difficult. Sure, it takes a lot of work. Enemies will have upwards of 2,000 plus HP, and you have no realistic way of dealing that much damage to enemies just by punching them in the face.
Anyone who remembers this game from casually playing it and probably taken a number of evenings to finish this cave even once. Yeah, the speedrun or the combination of items does allow us to go significantly faster.
And something else that lets you go fast are heal spells. There are limited ways of recovering HP in the Ancient Cave. You have your 10 potions that you start with. You have some armor that come with IP abilities which let you recover HP upon use. You have your variety of potions that you can discover, such as high potions and X potions, and you have revival items such as miracles, which regain your HP and MP to full, or regains, which give you just 100 HP upon bringing you back. The unfortunate thing is that there is no real way to recover MP outside of items, and having a heal spell means that you can be efficient by using your MP to heal yourself, whereas you would need a lot of potions. You could use one, say, Cast of Champion for 16 MP out of your 200 or 300, and that's just a much more efficient way to recover. So
I mean, there is also the Absorb spell, but we don't talk about the Absorb spell.
The Absorb spell recovers MP, and it's wonderful, and I love it, but no one else seems to like it. It doesn't work very well for people like Maxim. It doesn't scale off of... I'm sorry, it doesn't have its own base power, so for people who have low magic offensive stats or int stat, such as Maxim, you don't really get very much MP, if any, off of enemies. People like Artie can get a decent chunk. I'm sorry, people like Zixel can get a decent chunk.
That was risky.
Yeah, well, he's not moving. I thought he was gonna move.
Yeah. That's one thing with these enemy movement randomizations, right? You kind of expect some enemies to move the regular way, and then they don't. And in case of the wingers that we just saw, that can get very dangerous really quickly. Although I think you're at a pretty high level now, as far as, you know, usual levels would be concerned. And I think that's the first blue chest that we saw tonight.
Yeah. So blue chests are interesting. You see a lot of the items that we picked up. Flame shield's nice. A lot of the items that we picked up, all the items we picked up so far have been in red chests. Enemies will drop items, and most of them aren't anything special. red chest items will be whatever they are, but blue chest items are unique in that you can take them out of the ancient cave with you, and you can re-enter the cave with them. As long as you don't die. Ooh. If you do happen to die with the blue chest items, then you lose them. But if you happen not to die, then congratulations, you got a cool new shield or weapon or something neat that you can take back into the cave with you on a future run. And people who have played the game... What are you? People who have played the game as kids may think, oh yeah, hey, I used to do that. I used to go farm my this item or that item. Bring in a bunch of twist jewels or something. And that's a great way to make playing the Ancient Cave a lot easier. Gady's Blade is one of the weapons that you can get in the contents of the main story, and you can bring that in with you as well, which makes it so that way you have a pretty guaranteed weapon to bring into the cave. Plus you can find it in here, giving you potentially 2 Gady's Blades. They feed very well to your pets if you want pet food. They just overall they're all pretty good too. The majority of them are pretty good.
Yeah, I usually feed Gady's Blades to my radish as well.
Interesting.
So we're entering the first floor change of the Ancient Cave. There are 2 changes. This is more like the dungeon style of layout that you may see if you were to play the main game. The music follows that, the floor style, obviously. Oh boy. Ninja Vipers, it looks like, or our first ninja.
Yeah, the ninja pattern is one of the patterns you're not happy to see because those guys move at twice the speed that you do, which means you cannot really run away from them, as you can imagine. So there are a couple of tricks we got to surprise attack them, to lock them behind bushes, or even other enemies. But of course, all that depends on the floor layout and the current position. And knowing that they do have a certain movement pattern, simply by figuring that out, you're already losing 2 steps in the enemy movement randomizer, so yeah. That it isn't exactly making it easier.
The good thing is that many of the enemies don't exist on too many floors, so I'm not going to be dealing with Vipers for all that long. That said, late game, there are some enemies that there are a lot of floors, up to 10 or 12. Dragons, genies, leeches, and archfiends. They do come in great quantities, and it's never fun to have to deal with them in mass amounts.
Yeah, it's basically a hit or miss whether you're going to get a good movement pattern or not. Because usually once you reach floor 88, your run is reasonably safe because of the movement patterns of dragons and dark summoners. Those are the only enemies that will appear from there. Now with that movement pattern being randomized, those 12 floors, or is it 11? It's 11. You're actually going to have either a very easy time or not. Oh, what am I looking at? Wow.
I don't like this.
So, yeah, this is already, regarding the question before, whether we can see a lot of ninja movement patterns. Here there's 2 of them, so both the bee pattern and the snake pattern got replaced, or the horizontal snake pattern, I should say, got replaced by the ninja movement pattern, apparently. So... yeah, usually, since you can't run away from them, you usually want to kill them. Another option here that I gotta say I also didn't like, though, is keeping the bee alive and kind of lock the snake behind it. Yeah, but you can also just kill 2, you have both the levels as well as... oh, nice, yeah, the Eli dash. Nice. Yeah, if that happens, you don't have to kill both of them. That's nice. I didn't see that before. Usually you need to kill both of them, and I thought that was the better cause of action here. Of course, running away from them and not even taking the second encounter is even better. That generally applies. And yeah, you were saying you're gonna have to deal with them for a long time because they stop after a couple of floors. That's true, but it looks like they want to give you a run for your money for those couple of floors.
Yeah, it's never fun to have to deal with enemies a lot, and the cruddy thing is that I think they exist for 5 floors instead of 3. The minimum time range or floor duration an enemy can appear for is up to 3 floors, or as few as 3 floors. These snakes are around for a bit longer than the minimum. There are also some enemies that just do not move, which can be inconvenient. If they get the blue mimic floor movement pattern, that is.
Nice, get a double dash off here. But something tells me. Yeah. The top door there is the only one left, right? I didn't forget anything.
That's correct. So see, I'm kind of being stingy with my MP. I could have just cast the fry spell, which would have for sure killed 1, possibly killed 2. Dealing with enemies in mass quantities means if you can kill them quickly, of course you take less damage and you have less to worry about healing up. That said, I don't have too much in the way of MP recovery, and I have even less in the way of revival. For instance, I cannot revive Maxim right now, and I'm sorry, I cannot revive Nikos right now. I would certainly love to, but I can't. Oh boy. What are you? What is this game doing to me?
This is not a very nice set of floors, but that's what you sign up for, yeah. In the meantime, as you said before, healing spells are very important, so those come in 2 categories, I guess, which is those that only heal MP, and HP, I'm sorry. And then, of course, those that also revive characters. And yeah, either one of those will be fine. Having both in a good combination is usually what you want. Oh man. In order to just be able to sustain your run throughout the whole 98 floors. So, oh wow. Yeah, so with Artie dying, that's actually a bit of a problem, because Artie is your fast character. The way that party agility is determined means your fastest and slowest character determine whether you can run away from enemies. And with Maxim and Artie both dead, your fastest character is Guy, and your slowest character is Decker, and if you know anything about this game, neither of those guys is particularly fast. Which means you're not going to be running away from anything in the near future, unfortunately. And yeah, with already low resources, you are looking for a couple of fortunate drops in the very near future.
I'm also looking for enemies to be much more cooperative than normal. I don't even think I have any X potions to heal up anymore now.
The very near future.
No, I've got nothing. I have no more resources at all. Oh boy.
That's unfortunate. So that is not simply due to the movement randomizer. That can also very frequently happen to you during a regular run of the cave. So yeah, you can try and do what you can, which is hope that enemies hit the capsule monster here, as actually happened. Put Decker in the back row, which means he will take less damage. And
not from spells, unfortunately.
Not from spells, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's a total defeat. I want to say at that point, once you got into the snake floors, there's nothing you could have done about it.
Nope. Well, that is unfortunate. However, I'm gonna give y'all a show. There's another seed that I have vetted, and this one I actually know what's coming in. This does have it shows off the Re-Randomizer more, and I may be able to complete this one in near the amount of time. that the speedrun will allow.
Nice.
But I don't think I'm going to be able to get much further in that run, given I saw what the de-randomizer means. It means you're not getting any new chests on another follow-through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to bring everyone back up to speed, so far, Eli was running a ROM that was patched with both enemy movement randomization, meaning the movement parents were exchanged, and floor de-randomization, which for any single run doesn't mean a whole lot, but it means that a couple of special rules are being applied to how the floor generation works. So now that last part is being applied, so Eli, from the sound of it, already knows what the floors are going to look like. I'm sure he can't remember them all, but that's generally... So generally, basically you know you're not going to get screwed, right? That's the point.
I know I'm not going to get too screwed. I just know this
I'm
one's,
not too,
this one's a
okay,
little
yeah.
bit more doable compared to that.
Nice. Yeah, so there is always some things, even the de-randomizer will not govern whether cores will stay in battle or whether they will run, which means the same seed for the de-randomizer, which only de-randomizes floors, again, can still go very different for different runners. Same, of course, goes if one runner opens one chest and the other one doesn't, and that has a key item, then, yeah. Those runs will look different. But yeah,
Good luck on this one.
Yeah, I was about to say good luck again, yeah.
Yeah, don't think, oh, just because I know what this run's gonna have, it's gonna be any easier. I mean, people know how Super Metroid works, for instance, and yet, you know, you can still get slammed in that whenever you're playing through, just because you know, the game hands you a really bad set of RNG strings, or you predict something, or you can't quite get this particular piece of movement right. All it takes is one slip up sometimes. So as I said, this is a great entry game, I would say, for people who are interested in trying to speedrun but don't really feel as though they have the technical know-how, the finger dexterity, or the confidence in being able to execute incredibly complicated maneuvers with pixel perfect and frame perfect this and that. There's very little in this game that requires any sort of frame perfect input. It's a lot of just understanding what enemies do, how they move, knowing what weapons or items or skills or spells or whatever that you find is a big deal. And just pretty much playing it from there. So the main game I'd really would recommend is a fun campaign to play, because there's just a bunch of different things to do in the context of the game. There's good little puzzle solving, which the Ancient Cave really does not give very much of an insight on. There's a pretty decent level progression, a decent JRPG story for the Super Nintendo for its time. It's overall a fun game. And the Ancient Cave being a feature within the main story itself is fun, but playing it through here, this is where the most entertainment comes from, I would say.
Are you saying that figuring out how to get the blue mimic off of the stairs is not a puzzle?
Yeah, so all you have to do in that case is hit the L button and the R button on your controller, and then start and select, and then that resets your game, and then you can try something different. That's all there is to it.
I kind of like figuring out the movement puzzles as well, so yeah, I appreciate the question. But yeah, I can definitely agree. It's a great speedrun as far as the Ancient Cave goes. People have recently started doing non-manipulated story runs, so that's also something to get into if you're looking for an easy story-oriented route. Because this game basically has a very nice battle system combination. It's very fast-paced, so it kind of stood the test of time very well. And yeah, it makes a good speedrun choice for beginners or intermediate players. People just not focus on execution, as Eli said. So basically, you were exactly describing my strengths and weaknesses. So yeah,
what can I say? I understand. How
I'm
you
realizing. Yeah, I realize why I am in this community.
So
oh, nice.
You're very important. Yeah, that Dark Mirror I did know. That Dark Mirror is definitely a big help. One of the other big boons of this cave is that you can see people in the speedrunning community get as low as, we'll say, again, bringing up Elmagus, he has a 45-ish minute speedrun for the world record, and there's a handful of people that have run this game into the 50s. It's awesome to get a time that low, but there's plenty of people that are able to complete the game within 2 hours, and that is typically what we consider to be a quote-unquote marathon safe run, just because it's it gives you time to take your time, explore a little bit, open up some chests, deal with some rough rooms that would normally take 5 to 10 minutes at a time. My PB is an hour and 4 minutes, and I've gotten a couple dozen runs in the sub-hour 10 range, just never quite cracked 104. But with some research, with keeping a sheet of notes up on your side screen or something, you can actually get a lot further than you may expect yourself to, just because a lot of the information here, there's enough time that you could say glimpse over a notes and say, oh, what's this enemy's elemental weakness, so you know what spell to cast, or what to equip for a certain type of fight. You know, there's a lot of stuff like that, which makes speedrunning the cave, I don't want to call it easy, but just easier compared to other games. Lufia 1, on the other hand, the sequel to this game, and yet the game that came out before, well, it does have an ancient cave, sort of, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend playing it. It is where RC was describing that, or describing this game as one that has aged well over time. This has not. I'm sorry, Lufia 1 has not really aged well with time. You'll notice I found 2 spells of Strong, by the way. I found Strong a minute ago on a different floor. Ooh. And
yeah, that is also a feature of the Re-Randomizer that will not happen in the regular cave.
The way chests are generated, you can potentially find 2 of the same item on the same floor, even more. So for instance, I could have found 2 spells of Strong on floor 6, for instance, but in this case I found 2 instances of Strong back-to-back on different floors. When you find multiples of the same spell, congratulations, you have just absolutely blown out your chances of having something useful. Because in the main game, where you'd have to purchase a spell and equip it to each character individually, when you find a spell in this game, you get it for all characters just by picking it up one time. Or all characters that can
all
use
characters that can use it.
Correct. Yep, Decker and Guy cannot cast any magic. Artie cannot cast instant kill spells. Maxim, our hero, Nikos, our hero, cannot cast fire magic for one reason or another. You'd think with his red hair he would have an affinity towards fire, but no, this was ahead of its time in that. Breaking that trend.
Well, you know, it's like the Red Clown, but it's all the spoilers I'm gonna give. Yeah, so getting everyone up to speed. This is the second attempt in beating the cave. Now we're looking at regular enemy movements, so I guess just like me, you're much more comfortable in telling what everything does.
Yeah, you can see I'm zooming through, running towards enemies that I feel confident to be able to deal with, or laying out techniques or traps. You're like getting this pink beetle to move. I can tell how it's going to move in a certain way, so I lure it over to me, and then I kind of hug the wall in a certain way.
And then you gamble.
So yeah, sometimes you do have to gamble.
Yeah, sure.
Gambling. See, I'm not the kind of person that can endorse, traditional gambling. There are better things you could do with your money. For instance, actually, I'm pretty sure our gracious host could explain something more beneficial to do with any of your hard-earned and yet spare dollars and cents that you may have laying in your bank account.
Hard-earned dollars and cents laying around in your bank account? Well, that would be a darn shame. No, I'm joking. But yes, everybody, you are watching Speedrun Ragnarok. We're happy to take this again this year. Take This is a nonprofit organization who is focused on the gaming community and helping people in the gaming community with mental illnesses, providing education about disorders and prevention techniques, and reducing the overall stigma around mental illness. You may know Take This from big conventions for AFK rooms. And actually, since many marathons have gone virtual since last year, Take This has also moved AFK rooms into an online format. So AFK Online is a moderated Discord server that has been specifically designed to offer peer-based, non-therapeutic emotional support to attendees. You can visit takethis.org for more information and a link to this server. And you can also type Discord in chat to get the link. If it's not in there, I'll fix that. Yeah, so just to let you know what you can donate your dollars for. Obviously, in this case, we had the naming incentive where we named Maxim, Dekar, Artie, and Guy, and Darby after multiple different kinds of names. But we also have regular incentives, one of which is coming up next is Super Inefficient Game of Outdoor Logistics and Fun. Woo, that name is super inefficient to say multiple times, where you can donate to get the Wrong Hole incentive, where we start on one course, but finish on another. We've already met the Icarus incentive, where we literally launch a golf ball into the sky and see what the sun is made out of, so that's pretty exciting. But we have multiple bid wars, such as the Wacky World of Miniature Golf bid war, where you can choose the sprites. And whew, let me tell you about the sprite choices you have. So the first one is Clown. Alright, follow. Okay. The next one is Martini Anteater Queen. Okay, nobody's laughing yet. It's alright, I got more. Licorice Lipped Lady, who's way too happy to be in this game.
There we go.
Then we also have Triangle Hair Woman eating an ash ice cream cone. And then finally, Guy who's way too cool for this game. So, these were, the characters didn't have specific names, we gave them some, they were fun. As well as more character name bid wars, gender bid wars for the main characters in Ultima, etc. There are really a lot of cool incentives that you can donate towards, and all of the money goes towards a really great cause. So thank you everybody for donating towards Take This, and yeah, we hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon. Meanwhile, we're fighting a mushroom.
Nope, we're fighting several mushrooms, actually.
Several mushrooms. Nice. Big mushroom!
Big mushrooms. Unfortunately, these are the last instance of mushrooms that we're going to be really dealing with. There are two, and you may have noticed if you've not only played this, but just kind of been following along. There's pink mushrooms and green mushrooms. They have different movement. Certain enemies will share the same movement sprite. Other enemies will not. And you never quite know what you're going to be getting if you're, well, if you're just unfamiliar with playing this game. There's pumpkins here, for instance. There's green and orange pumpkins. They have the same movement across each instance, and that they are the first teleporting enemy that you'll encounter. Their teleportation is relatively random. They'll teleport somewhere within sight. They will. They will take a step after a few moments, and then they'll teleport again. Other enemies will teleport only when you're close to them, or only when you have a good separation of distance among them. This sword, for instance, you'll see is what I'd call a hugger. It hugs enemies. It tries to follow them. It's entertaining to watch them try to follow teleporters. And now we're almost to the point where we were at before, and you may have noticed we've made it here in near record times, because I didn't spend forever opening chests. Again, normally this is a game in which every chest has its contents randomized within a pool of what its items could possibly be. The convenience of this run is that I know going into it using RealCritical's Randomizer what the chests will include, or at least what items can exist on what chests when I open them up. I cannot tell what enemy AI is going to be. I cannot tell what combat scenarios will turn out like. but I can tell what enemies I'm going to see on the map when I get into the map, so it does give me a little bit of a headway. Much like any other game, where you know what enemy, party composition or whatever would be. There's different methods of RNG creation in this game that allow things to proceed in one way or the other.
Yeah, and as the nature of the run, since a lot of things that you're gonna get, even in the Randomizer, are random, you are kind of relying on getting a certain set of equipment. So you already found in the second run a Curse Lifter, Blizzard, and Trick. That's the good stuff I saw.
Oh, and Strong. Don't forget Strong.
So that's... Oh, Strong, nice. Yeah. And Fry, I guess. That's... Yeah, so those 4 are rather useful. Dark Mirror is a nice backup. I wouldn't exactly call it useful in the traditional sense.
So Dark Mirror is an interesting item. Is the only cursed shield that you can find in the game. I equipped it to Artie. It's stuck on him. There are a couple of shield options that you might want to give him instead of the Dark Mirror, especially for dealing with the Ancient Caves final boss. That said, it's not going to be atrocious that he's got it equipped. For the majority of the run, it does give him some added bulk against tough enemies like this. Holy moly.
Ooh.
That was unexpected. The Dark Mirror gives him so much bulk that it really does matter in the context of this run, in that it gives him the survivability that he needs in order to take on enemies like this that punch him, because his HP is fairly low to start off with.
Ooh, Zillion Zell, pulling through. Just so you know, all of these names were based off of the Japanese restream admins. So Dekar is Kane Naka. Laying on the floor there, Guy is Mikashige. Artie is Zillion Zell. And then we named Darby after... Hold on. Wait a minute. And then we named Darby after Rice89.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that. They do look rather cryptic to the uninitiated.
It's trying really hard to fit all of the names in.
Yeah. Alright, I'm sure they make more sense if they don't just have 5 characters to spell them out with, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Eli, you managed to get yourself in yet another not exactly great position. So the Dark Mirror is carrying here. Ooh.
Was carrying. Holy moly.
Or is it? Or is it?
Ah!
Well,
I
it
guess
wouldn't be
I
an
should've
ancient
shut
cave
my
run without a
mouth.
wipe or 3.
Well, indeed. Here we go again.
Here we go, number 3, I guess. I have a good feeling about this one. That hallway is one of the 2 rough points of the cave. I'm not exactly sure why things didn't go my way. Oh wait, I can tell you. It's because that double sandstorm that I got immediately, which wiped half my party. Like I said, I really don't know what enemy AI is going to determine in terms of what they do in battles, and that does set me back a good way. So sometimes you can get lucky. And,
Sandstorm?
yep, it was a rude action of this enemies, and I hope it stays as though that's the only rude thing they do.
How did I never hear that in years of cave community exposure?
Oh, I know.
Well, Eli was holding it just for this moment, just for you.
I know, right? Very nice. The puns are real.
Well, speaking of things you can do in here, other than making puns, there are a few tricks or techniques or movement strats that you'll see, and it's not only for doing things such as moving around enemies, it also involves doing things like going up and down stairs, which you may not necessarily be aware of off the top of your head. If you walk into a floor, you'll notice that all enemies will spawn facing downwards. If you walk into stairs, you will load into the following floor facing the direction in which you were facing when you walked into the stairs to begin with. So it is a little bit of a way to protect yourself by walking into stairs from the bottom upwards, because that means that no enemies can, say, get a back attack on you by loading facing your back once you pull into the room. I guess that's pretty much it, in fact, in terms of fancy movement strats. There's not too much else that's really complicated other than what you may see for specific enemies. And hopefully I'll get to show off a few enemies beyond floor 30 for you today.
Yeah. It has been a bit of a rough patch.
Like I said, you can see how challenging
you gotta
this
make
game
this one
is.
count.
I will try my best to make this one count. Hey, at least I know what I have to prepare for.
That's all good. I'm just saying you have to make it count because I get a feeling that if you like die another 25 minutes in, they're just gonna cut you off and say, "Okay, we're back on track for the schedule."
And considering I had as much technical difficulties getting this darn thing set up to begin with, I can't blame them actually for wanting to move on to something that's going to be guaranteed to complete. Speaking of that, what is the next run after this?
The next run after this? Well, didn't you know that you're running this again and again and again? No, I'm joking.
It never stops. You can enter the cave, you can check in, but you can't check out.
Oh, that's a good song. So next up is Loom with our lovely Scala Kitty. And then after that, we'll have Kingdom Hearts 0.2, Birth by Sleep, run by Zelnis SR. And then Dragon Quest by Ladob. And then we'll have an exercise and mental health panel by Take This, where we're going to learn about exercise and mental health and how that helps you, which will then kick us off just before our golf block. So lots of cool things coming up later today, so stick around.
So a question about the Kingdom Hearts run. Is he going to run the rest of it, or just 0.2 of the game? 20%? Just
20% of the game. It's a 30-minute run. It's just 20% of everything, you know. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like how golf block was mentioned, and you worry about Kingdom Hearts. But all right.
And to top it all off, actually the Japanese restream has a great name for the golf block, which is the Golf Game Zone.
You'll sign me and the rest of America up.
I like it.
It's a really great block, so we had to figure it out somehow. It's great.
It certainly sounds unique.
Is
I'll
there
see whether I can
is there a
I've seen
theme,
this
by the way? Is this like something that we have been looking forward to, planning, expecting for a good period of time?
I guess that, and I think the theme was that some people in our Discord were like, haha, let's make a golf block, and everybody submits a golf game. And now it is it is a golf block. We have Goofy Golf, Golf Randomizer, Golf in capital letters, super inefficient game of outdoor logistics and fun, Atari Golf, Wacky World of Miniature Golf, and then Gambare Daiku no Gensan, which is probably not a golf game.
Let me know when you get to the world record breaking golf game. Because I have a feeling that one or two of these golf games may not have a very active speedrunning community, and there's going to be a world record earned sometime during this event.
Oh, you know what we should really have is that we should have a golf randomizer for Ancient Cave.
I've played many games, and
man.
unfortunately this is one that does not include a golf club, but it does have a variety of things that could be considered golf balls.
Are you trying to tell me you cannot use a sword as a golf club?
I would never say such a thing. However,
Okay.
I would say that there are probably some tools that would be more recommended for the job, and I don't know how effective a sharp sword would be at attacking a piece of plastic.
Well, when the golf ball is the giant jelly, you know.
Yeah, I mean...
Which again, I really hope I can show off. I'm gonna have to really get some good marathon luck over the next 80 floors though. Otherwise this may be the first time for RPG Valkyries that I show off a complete wipe. Which is something I haven't actually done yet, given the now 4 times I've run this for you guys.
It's okay. I know what will help. So everybody, please donate with your puns so that we can curse the commentary instead of the run.
That's okay.
I approve.
We know. Oh, is it because you're here, RC? I'm waiting for chat to start saying it again. I'm sure Rocket Pants is in there, probably cursing your name already.
Oh,
yeah.
Rocket Pants, my favorite bard. Rocket Pants can come in with all of the puns forever, and I will be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big supporter of puns. I'll have them. All the more so if it's for a good cause. So, yeah, thanks for me as well to all the donators so far and in the future. Puns or otherwise.
I pulled up chat. Actually, Pendle. This is we're to the point now where it's re-randomized itself so hard that it is now de-randomized. The randomization has been removed from the feature. No fun allowed. This is the ancient cave. By default, no fun allowed.
That's actually very close to what's actually happening, yeah. So basically, the de-randomizer allows you to set a specific seed for the randomization that happens in the cave, and everyone can play the same cave, so to speak, if multiple people are running at the same time. That was the original idea.
Makes it great for races.
Oh yeah.
And do you mind if I bring that up, actually? The Ancient Cave community and the wonderful place in which you can come experiment with this and many more neat features. Socialize with the gathering of other people that have as little faith in themselves and their gaming skills as everyone else. And also enjoy good races. Not only playing this game in this fashion, but also doing things like playing bingo and other things. If you want to join that community, feel free to speak up in chat so someone can tell you no, please don't. Because there are better places that you could be at rather than the Ancient Cave Discord. But if you do, for one reason or another, decide to join the Ancient Cave community, this is a pretty wholesome place. Very little in the way of drama. We are all here suffering through the Ancient Cave as it is, and we all understand that you need a certain mindset in order to be able to play this game for as long as you do. So we will have sympathy for you, and we will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, what's been said before about playing the cave over and over and over until eternity, that hits very close to home.
So one interesting thing, which I might possibly get to show off, depending on how badly this run goes. If you die, you are not guaranteed to be done with your run. There is a chance if you die when you're on the stairs, the flag that would trigger to kick you out from the Ancient Cave does not go off before the flag that would just send you down the stairs. So you have a chance, depending on where you die, to proceed through the cave, even if you experience a game over. Now, the unfortunate thing about that is if you do manage to die on the stairs, you lose all your stuff. If you have fed and evolved your capsule monster, you no longer have that. You have to go back to your base pet. You also lose all the spells, all the levels, everything. You go back to level 1 with 10 potions. You do get 10 potions out of dying, which is, I guess, something.
That's one way to look at it. Oh,
wait,
I don't like what I'm seeing here.
Do we get to keep those every time we die? So, like, we die and then we get 10 more potions and then we get destroyed by pumpkins and get 10 more. potions? And can we just have like a bunch of potions? Oh no, Eli.
This is not going my way. Holy moly. Let's see.
So you needed a sub-RC the last time you died, which in golf communities is called subpower, I believe.
Check.
Now you need a much better time.
I like how this is like blah, 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 blah. This is like an ancient cave runner thing where you just walk around this portal like.
Do I have to? Do I really have to?
Yep.
You know, give me 1 second. I think we're close on time for where we need to be. We started late. I'm clearly not doing very well. Give me a moment, and I'm gonna see if I can pull something up that will allow stuff to be interesting here.
You're like a wizard. You're just pulling new things out of your hat.
Poo, poo, poo. Is it more like a
And then
magician
they
and not a...
explode.
Oh no! Exploding rabbits!
Sorry, I was talking over you. What did you want to say?
I forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not like I was gonna say anything. Welcome to Speedrun Ragnarok, everybody. While Eli is pulling up some more magic, check out our shirts. We have some more merch this year, and we have like some regular t-shirts, pullover hoodies, a long t-shirt, and a mask. And so you can check out our shirts if you do ! Shirts in chat. Every dollar that you sorry, I don't know about every dollar. I apologize. But the money you do spend, many of it will, I can English, go to Take This. So we don't even have to, it doesn't go through us at all. Just like the money you donate for Tiltify goes straight to Take This. So check them out. There's some great options on here. And if I recall correctly, the bonfire hoodies and things are super comfy, and ooh, they come in other colors. There's light blue, light pink, gold, green. Yeah, these are really nice.
Do you happen to have any pictures of those that we could see? Or I don't know if you can pull up a link of it, but I'd love to take a look at it.
Sure can. Actually, there's a link right now there in chat. The bit.ly SRR merch, but I can also quickly drop it in Discord as well.
Eli is just trying to buy time and minute.
Yep. And also shout-outs to our Japanese restream. We have a Japanese restream this year, and we are quite frankly humbled and honored to have it. Japanese restream no minasan, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for having us.
Alright, there's two things I'm hoping I can show off here. And let's see if I can actually pull it off. It's about to get green for a moment. We'll fix that.
Oh, it's so green!
Oh, hey, look, we're on floor 53. Wonderful. We're actually a little further into the cave now.
Ha! Whoa! So that was the illustrious glitch warp thing that
Yeah, I call it full skip. So much so that I've actually shuffled up my party members too. You'll notice I have Tia in my party instead of Guy, the better fourth party member. And this being for RPG Valkyries, it's fitting that we actually bring a Valkyrie with us.
Yeah, so that is an interesting safety safe that you brought there.
Yeah, there's definitely a few interesting things I want to show off in this. One, this is not the Re-Randomizer or the Re-Randomizer or the anything. This is just a straight game, and I felt like showing off a little bit of the mid-game, at least for a little bit, would be a decent idea. And I do have a few other saves I can show off in a bit. But you'll notice that here in the mid-50s, this is going to be what the layout for the Ancient Cave looks like for the rest of the run until you get to the bottom floor. The enemies around here do become dangerous. They become more difficult to kill and also more threatening in that they can kill you very, very easily if you mistakenly walk into them like I did with some of those other enemies in my previous runs.
There.
I know, shocking. On the flip side, there are some interesting enemies in this particular range. The Hydras, they drop a pretty useful item if you're able to get your hands on it. And that item in question makes it so that way, regardless of what weapon you have something very effective to take on the Jellywith at the bottom of the Ancient Cave. Let's see. We'll keep to our schedule a bit more here, but first I just want to see if we find any Hydras. It's you speak very good Japanese there, our dear host.
Yeah.
I must say. There is an enemy coming up that was translated. Hopefully we'll see it. And I want to get your opinion on it, as I am a native English speaker, and I do not really have proficiency with any other word of tongue. Hopefully we'll find it. They stop appearing on floor 61.
Dinosaur!
No, there's plenty of dinosaurs to go around. George would be happy.
2. I guess 3 if you count the pugs.
Are they dinosaurs?
Well, they're chickens, right?
I suppose. Wow, I'm actually getting some pretty decent
Dinosaur
stairs.
chickens?
Dinosaur pugs?
Dinosaur chickens.
I mean...
Looks like... Oh, wait, here's one enemy that we can see an interesting translation of. So we got the Magma Gorems here, which is neat.
Yep. Magma Gorem. Which would make sense because in Japanese there's not really an L or an R sound. You do have dariru dero, which is more of a combination of the two all at the same time. Then we have these, what are these, like
those are called Venus flies.
Ah, okay.
There are another enemy, that are green version of them called Moray Vines. They are annoying to deal with. But we're going to move on to something a little different here. We're going to check out... I think it's this one here. So, oh my gosh, look, we're actually pretty far again. Hey, look, there's still dragons, just like we saw a few minutes ago. We found... I just can't commit to a fourth party member. And we sent our Valkyrie home. It's going to be dangerous. So we've got 3 people here, and... yeah... Oh, we have a very full inventory too, apparently. I'm not too worried about how things are going to turn out, though, because we have Darby has really grown up. I'm sorry, Rice 89 has really grown up.
Wow!
And one thing you'll see here, there's different evolutionary stages of your capsule monsters as you feed them. I'm randomizing my save states, you can say, at this point. And this is what the true secret is. The one here I've got here is the quote-unquote best one for dealing damage, and at the final boss, that's where you'd want to see all of that, well, damage. You also see we're 2 hours and 35 minutes into our run, which is pretty impressive. Additionally, we are at the final floor. So someone in chat a minute ago, I don't see the chat now, but it was pretty recent, they said, "Is the last floor glitched in this Lufia version?" I hope this answers your question, person in chat who had asked. The Japanese version of the game does not have this colorful layout, for sure. And I believe the European one is fine as well, or PAL, or whatever you would refer to it as. But yeah, this is the final floor of the Ancient Cave. There are chests. They are not actually chests. There are stairs. They are not actually stairs. There are walls. As you can see, I'm running into them. And
Just normal bits.
we have a decent setup of stuff, but we don't have a Decker Blade, which is unfortunate, I don't think, anyway. We have a lot of stuff, but no Decker Blade. We have a Gades Blade, like we were talking about. We also have a Lizard Blow and a Dragon Spear, which is a very, very good agility boosting weapon for Artie, and also the other Valkyrie who we didn't consider. We left our wife at home. She's tending to our baby, and for that all things considered, that's probably the best, because we may be stuck in this cave forever. We'd like our child to at least grow up and continue the legacy of heroes. So, that said,
this is
we're
story canon, by the way.
Yeah, this is what's happening. There is a story. There are descendants of our hero that continue into Lufia 1, and I'm assuming that the other Lufia games, they play some part in it. So anyway, we're here in the basement of wherever the heck we are. Even the Jelly had no idea anybody could make it this far.
I never imagined anyone could make it this far.
Who are you? You're
Who
just
are you?
a blob of jelly, right? And
Oh, I'm the strongest and oldest of jellies.
so
some speedy translation.
Yeah, very on point. Interestingly enough, you also get the choice to not fight. So you could come all this way and say, nah, you know, whatever, I actually want to fight you. And he just says, okay, whatever. You can go back. It gives you a chance to, say, fix up your menuing in case you messed up your equipment or something. But we'll give it a shot.
Very weird choice, yeah.
We're going to do the best we can with our three-person party. You know, we may not be as properly equipped for the jelly as we feel as though we need to be, but we'll give it a shot.
So since we kind of skipped the half of the run where we explain how the jelly fight works, can we just do that right now on the fly? So you get 3 turns to defeat him, and he has about 10,000 HP. And yeah, he doesn't attack you, he even heals you and provides you with magic, but yeah, you get those 3 turns to do whatever you can out of your equipment. And you use the fractionals in the first turn, as Eli's done here with the axe attack of the Gorgon Rock.
So normally if we had a Decker Blade or a Myth Blade or even a Deadly Sword, we'd absolutely give those a shot. But we're not blessed with those, unfortunately, right now. So we're just doing the best we can with the gear that we have. We're bulking up because we want to show off the Gades Blade, the infamous Gades Blade. And we'd also like to see Darby pull some weight, but they'd have to pull a lot of weight, given that the Gorgon Rock was our only fractional.
Come on, Rice, you can do it. Uh-oh. Buffering?
You need a lot of things to go in your favor here to make this happen.
I think we're buffering.
I don't see any dropped frames or anything.
Is it me? Might be me.
It might be, I think it's smooth.
So Darby tried,
Oh,
I'm sorry, Rice tried, but you can see Decker's hitting with his Octo Strike. It's at 8 hit IP, which comparatively the other ones will only do 3 hits at most. I have a feeling this is not going to kill, but don't pull time yet, because I'm actually not happy yet. I feel like we can get this. We can get this win somehow. RealCritical, do you think that there is a way that we can defeat, or we can come out as winners?
I mean, I can think of a couple, but not from here. Okay, yeah, of course, you're going to load the different save. Okay.
No, this is the same save. I'm going to try again. I figured out I did something wrong.
Do you possibly have any egg rings in your inventory? Per chance?
Can we give Rice some more treats?
Nah, you know, I'm not going to count on Rice in this form. I'm going to give him a break and just let our Disco Wolf show up and have a little fun.
Oh, nice. Got us a Disco Wolf. Yeah, I can see where you're going with this for now. So there is...
In this case, guys, I really just, I want to win.
Great.
And I think the secret is to look within myself and figure out exactly what my own flaws are before determining how I can truly defeat my foe.
Dragon!
So we start off by summoning our water dragon. That kind of hurt, but that's okay. Oh, wait. Hold on a sec. That wasn't right.
Ooh.
I mean, you can still make it work. So it turns out, and that's how I figured it out back in the day, when the jelly heals you, there must be a reason for that, right? So apparently it's not intended by the developers for what we can tell from the code, but yeah, if you manage to defeat your own party in this battle, then that will impress the jelly in some way or another, and we will see how in a moment.
Cool. We'll truly light the fire inside of us. And see if this gives us what we need exactly to win. So, there we go. Total defeat. However, what's this? Normally you die, you get ejected from the cave. But instead, we're greeted with the jelly's admiration. So he generously calls us brilliant. And he doesn't acknowledge himself as being defeated. He just acknowledges us as being brilliant. So, there we go. We have a dead party.
Because he never got defeated.
Yeah, he did not get the chance to run away in terror. We will hightail it out of here with our dead party.
It's not going to be the most glorious story to tell people on the outside, but I mean...
We beat the jelly.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that needs to be said.
Now, not only that, but we do get to bring a little bit of our... Oh, hey. Mixed Sugar, I'm glad you got to have a good time chilling out at the house. We actually got to... Oh, we got an Irish shield too, what do you know? We got to bring... Oh, the Iris helmet too. That's not what I want to show off. Oh, the Iris armor too. What? Wait, what? What? No, she just needs to take the thing I want to get. I don't want the Iris ring either.
I have the Iris ring! Wow.
So this is not actually what I remembered being in my save state. But, oh my god, there's more.
You have the Iris staff!
So for context, this save state it took a couple of years ago. I found 6 Iris items in a single run of the cave, and it was my first time running through with a party of only 3 people. As you saw on the timer, it's only a couple of hours of a run, and look, there's 6 Iris items. Plus, you receive a literal piece of the jelly as a trophy to bring back. There are 10 Iris items, supposedly.
9.
Has it that there's only 9. Rumor has it that they don't even exist at all, and I'm just lying to you. But if you were to collect all 10, much like if you collect all of the Pokemon in a Pokemon game, you receive an award, and that award is a text box that says, good job. Nothing else. No items, no fanfare, no music, no secret equipment. You can't even equip the Iris pieces. They're just items that sit in your inventory, like this arrow right here that you can't equip or do anything with.
Yeah, unless you're playing an emulator, you can't even print the message like you can in Pokemon.
Yeah, you don't have a Game Boy printer for the Super Nintendo, as far as I know, anyway.
SNES printer, yeah.
Maybe you can do it with the Super Game Boy somehow. I'm not sure.
Honestly, I thought you were just pulling our leg and that all of the Iris items were going to be there. We're going to be like, oh, well, El Magus, there you go, world record, 118.
Almost got to show that off, but no, that's just a little piece of Elieson history there that I conveniently got to show off in terms of this run. I did not get to show off, obviously, what I wanted to, which was a true run that would have featured a defeat, because things just did not go my way. But you did get to see a few interesting ways to run the cave that are new, very new, since last RPG Valkyries, the Re-Randomizer and the Randomizer didn't really exist, so these are some nice things to show off. As this lady says, once you're hooked on the ancient cave, you're stuck in this city for a long time, and that is my final opportunity to shout out the ancient cave community and to say we're very welcoming, and if you do want to join in, we seriously will gladly assist you and teach you the ways of the ancient cave, whether it be through racing, general advice, or if you just want to, play and show off your stuff and say, hey, look, this is a hilarious party room. Have you ever been to Dragon Con? I have. I have front row seats. I dropped in from the ceiling right into the middle of it, and it was a fabulous time.
Except for the last part, yeah.
Except for the last part.
So this was a bit of a confusing showcase for, time constraints for this event and having to back up the... I don't mean to blame the event, but obviously it was all caused by having to back up the couple of deaths that unfortunately happened. If you do want to see a bit more, the regular run of this game, maybe try it out for yourself. It's definitely a good game. Can recommend it.
Yep, and everything I've shown you does apply to the context of the main game as well, so if you do decide, hey, I'd like to play this RPG, it actually looks pretty neat. You can commit Sudoku at the basement of the cave and come out on top. It gives you your neat blue chest items to go through the main story with, and it's all around a fun time. So I'd like to thank RealCritical for hosting / building the Randomizer and the Re-Randomizer, which were showcased today. And if you'd like to take advantage and try running one of those, either hit up our community or even just send me a direct message through Twitch or Discord, whatever. I'll be happy to link it to you and invite you to the community where you too can join us and suffer alongside. And with that said,
very positive vibes, yeah.
It's all about positivity. You've got to keep optimistic, otherwise it's just going to be a very difficult day for yourself.
I think that's the real goal of Ancient Cave, is to teach you how to be optimistic.
Well, let's be optimistic for our upcoming run. We can call this one a wrap. Thank you for hosting us, RPG Valk's community. Thank you for allowing us to come in. And next year, I hope to showcase something even more entertaining, interesting, and complete. And one day, I'll finally get that jelly kill with a regular race setup or something neat. And I've gotten jelly kills before, but I would like to do it a nice traditional way if possible, unless we have something funny to do, because we prefer entertainment to completion at this point.
We here at the RPG Valkyries love your entertainment, so... Alright, well thank you so much, Elieson and RealCritical, for being here and being positive and optimistic through all of the interesting that was this, so we appreciate it. And yeah, everybody stay tuned. We have Loom coming up next. We are probably going to be switching restreamers here in just a hot minute, but yeah, stay tuned for more. We have, of course, Loom, Kingdom Hearts 0.2, Dragon Quest, and then our Take This panel about exercise and mental health. So we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye!